Deep within Japan's rugged mountain ranges, where thick forests cloak the earth and winding trails lead to places long forgotten, lie the remnants of once bustling mining towns. These settlements, carved into steep slopes and shadowed by towering trees, now stand eerily silent. Buildings that once echoed with the clatter of tools and voices lie empty, their windows like hollow eyes staring blankly into the wilderness. It is here, amid the twisted metal and crumbling stone of abandoned mines, that a chilling local legend thrives, the tale of the Shadow People. These Shadow People are said to be dark, ghostly figures, glimpsed fleetingly at the edges of vision or seen drifting through the deserted tunnels that spiderweb beneath the mountain surface. Locals and occasional visitors whisper of these silhouettes, thin, smoky shapes without clear features, that move with unsettling speed or simply pause, watching from the darkness. Despite their elusiveness, the stories about these shadowy entities have persisted for decades, deeply woven into the folklore of mining communities that once braved the dangers of these unforgiving environments. The abandoned mines themselves hold a grim history. Japan's mining boom in the late 19th and early 20th centuries fueled rapid industrial growth, drawing thousands to extract valuable minerals like gold, silver, and copper. But with this progress came hardship and tragedy. Mining accidents were frequent, and many workers lost their lives underground. Some miners reportedly vanished without explanation, swallowed by the labyrinthine tunnels or the treacherous terrain above. Over time, the towns emptied as resources dwindled and the mines were shuttered, leaving behind relics of industry and grief. The Shadow People are often linked to this dark past. According to local folklore, these ghostly figures might be the restless spirits of miners who never found peace. Some say they guard the entrances to forgotten shafts, or silently mourn the lives cut short beneath the earth. Others claim the shadows are more malevolent, presences that watch intruders with cold intent, a warning against disturbing the slumbering dead. Tales abound from those who have ventured near these forsaken sites. One miner-turned-hiker from a nearby village recalls a sudden chill on a clear summer night when he glimpsed a hazy figure darting into the black mouth of a collapsed tunnel. Another elderly resident speaks of hearing faint footsteps echoing through empty streets after dark, footsteps belonging to no living soul. These stories, passed down through generations, form a patchwork of eerie encounters and unexplained phenomena that blur the line between history and haunting. While skeptics argue these are mere tricks of light and overactive imaginations, the allure of the Shadow People remains potent. They embody the lingering mysteries of Japan's abandoned mines, places where nature is reclaiming what humans once tore from the earth, and where the past seems to seep through cracks in stone and silence. This documentary will journey into those mountains and mines, exploring the legends, the whispers, and the unsettling shadows that continue to haunt these forgotten work sites. What lies beneath the surface of these abandoned places? Are the Shadow People merely folklore, or something more? Japan's mining history stretches back centuries, but it was during the Meiji era that the industry truly surged. The demand for precious metals and industrial minerals skyrocketed as Japan rapidly modernized, seeking to establish itself among the world's leading powers. Mines sprouted across the country, many precariously perched in mountainous regions where veins of gold, silver, copper, and other valuable ores could be found. This rush brought thousands of workers to these remote outposts, men and women willing to brave harsh conditions in hopes of a steady wage. Life inside these mines was far from easy. The work was grueling and dangerous. Miners faced narrow tunnels that seemed to stretch endlessly underground, choking dust, unbearable heat, and the constant danger of cave-ins or flooding. The tools and safety equipment were often rudimentary at best, and accidents were frequent and frequently deadly. Lung diseases like pneumoconiosis, often called miner's lung, took a staggering toll on the workforce. Stories passed down from families who lived near these mines tell of young men who enter their jobs full of hope only to return ill, or never return at all. As decades passed, shifting global markets and resource depletion led to many mines shutting down. The once thriving communities that had grown around mining operations slowly emptied. Buildings were left to decay, machinery rusting where it once hummed. The mountains absorbed the silence of abandoned work sites, erasing the signs of human toil. It is within this backdrop of loss and abandonment that tales of shadow people emerged, taking root as part of local lore. Villagers and occasional explorers describe sightings of these ghostly forms near the mines, shadowy figures glimpsed fleetingly in peripheral vision or caught vanishing behind broken structures. Often, these shadows are said to move with unnatural speed or seem to linger just out of reach, as if aware of those who come too close. One recurring story from an aging resident in a former mining town describes how her grandfather, a miner himself, warned her never to enter the tunnels after dark. He spoke of seeing figures that didn't belong to the living, like smoke shaped like people that melted into the darkness at a glance. These accounts, many shared in hushed tones around local gatherings, lack concrete evidence, yet they persist through generations as cautionary tales, woven deeply into the cultural fabric of these regions. Other rumors paint a more ominous picture, suggesting the shadow people guard the secrets and tragedies buried beneath the earth. Some believe these figures are linked to miners who perished in disasters, spirits unable to move on, tethered forever to the dark labyrinths they once toiled in. Yet, with no definitive proof, these remain unresolved stories, folklore refracted through decades of memory and superstition. Despite the uncertainty, the shadow people serve a meaningful role in the cultural landscape of these abandoned sites. They embody collective memory, grief, and respect for lives lost amid hardship. Whether real apparitions or manifestations of the human imagination grappling with forgotten sorrow, their presence commands a kind of reverent caution. The stories of shadow people lurking around Japan's abandoned mines invite curiosity not only as compelling folklore, but also as psychological and natural phenomena worth considering. One interpretation points to the intense isolation and stress experienced by miners or visitors in these deserted areas. Extended solitude, combined with the eerie silence and darkness of the mines, can heighten the senses and sometimes distort perception. The mind, craving meaning or companionship in an unsettling environment, might conjure fleeting shapes or shadows, especially when exhaustion or low light plays tricks on the eyes. Such psychological effects are well documented in cases of sensory deprivation or extreme environments, lending a plausible explanation to some sightings. Another angle considers the role of natural phenomena. Mines, by their very nature, are labyrinthine spaces where light behaves oddly. The interplay of faint natural illumination, dust particles suspended in stagnant air, and reflective surfaces can create shadows that move or shimmer unexpectedly. At dusk or under moonlight, these visual effects may mimic humanoid forms or fleeting movements. Uneven terrain beneath the Earth's surface can also cause sudden, unexplained noises such as shifting rocks, dripping water, or underground animal activity. These sounds might fuel the eerie atmosphere and give shape to the mysterious entities reported by witnesses. Traditional beliefs about spirits and the afterlife remain deeply embedded in Japanese culture, influencing how these shadow people are perceived. The idea of restless spirits, especially those tied to tragic deaths or unquiet souls, resonates strongly in communities affected by mining disasters. Folklore often portrays such spirits as shadows or ephemeral figures, neither fully corporeal nor entirely benevolent. This cultural framework may shape how locals interpret ambiguous experiences near the mines, turning vague sensations into stories that reflect collective grief, caution, and respect for the past lives lost underground. Some researchers and storytellers suggest that these shadow people serve a symbolic function within their communities. They act as living expressions of memory and warning, reminders of the dangers that once claimed so many miners. In this view, the legends are less about literal hauntings and more about how human societies process trauma, loss, and change over time. As the place transitions from a site of industry to one of abandonment, these tales maintain continuity between past and present, ensuring the stories of those who worked and died there are never fully forgotten. Yet, despite these plausible explanations, the Shadow People remain largely an unresolved mystery. No confirmed evidence has emerged proving their existence beyond folklore and anecdote. Their elusive nature fuels ongoing fascination and speculation, illustrating the power of stories to endure in the face of uncertainty. Within the communities near these deserted mines, the Shadow People continue to be part of an evolving narrative, sometimes feared, sometimes revered, always enigmatic. In the end, whether these shadows are mere tricks of the mind, manifestations of natural phenomena, or echoes of traditional ghostly beliefs, their presence underscores a profound human response to the unknown.